What is going on, everyone? My name is Andy. Welcome back to another FPL video, and it feels good to be saying that. It has been so long. I think it's about 13 years since I last uploaded on this channel. I'm not leaving the channel to die. I'm not just never going to upload again. Obviously, I'm waiting for the football to come back, and then in turn, hopefully FPL will come back as well. But a few reasons for uploading today. One, there's been an announcement, albeit a very small one. And if you're subscribed to Fantasy Football Scout, which you should be, you've already seen the video on that. But I'm going to talk about it here as well. I'm also going to talk about my team, because it would have been Game Week 38 this weekend. It would have been, had the season continued as normal, it would have been Game Week 38. All the matches would have been played on Sunday. Because it's the last game week of the season, they all play at the same time, just in case there's stuff riding on kind of top 4 spots or the league or relegation. They all play at the same time, so that would have been this Sunday. So obviously it's sad that that's not gone ahead. I'd say, although I've seen a lot of people say, you know, no one cares about FPL at the moment, I get that. There's more important things, but I feel like if you've clicked on this video, or if you're still looking at FPL, you know, there's like 40,000 plus transfers been done this week. So there's still a good few people who are interested. And yes, of course, I've said this on like every one of my last few videos. There are more important things, but FPL is still a huge part of people's lives, including mine. So I wanted to talk about it. It would have been Game Week 38, and we would have been going into the final game week. So what I'm going to do is quickly go through the announcement that FPL have made, just in case you haven't seen it, and talk about kind of what that might mean, and then just show you how my team is looking basically for Game Week 38 and beyond. So let's jump into that. So I'm even recording this bit similar to how I did it on Scout. So I'm not going to go through it in huge depth or anything, because like I said, if you've seen that video, you've already seen this. You can probably, to be fair, if you have seen that video, just skip to the next part, which is basically me talking about my team. But there was a meeting of shareholders earlier this week. This is what FPL have said, by the way. And the clubs were united in trying to complete, or looking to complete, the 2019-2020 season, but only when it's safe and appropriate to do so, which I think everyone would agree with, right? If it's safe and appropriate to do so, then fair enough, let's get it back. If it's not, then don't worry about it. But they are looking to try and complete the season at some point, which I think we kind of already knew, but it's good to have that locked in. And I'm looking forward to having the season finish. Yes, obviously Liverpool have won the league, but there's other important things at hand, European spots, relegation, and that kind of thing as well. So I think it would be not great to avoid it and relegate those that are already there in the relegation spots. It's just not fair. I've talked about before how Man United are currently ahead of Sheffield United, but Sheffield United have a game in hand, so it wouldn't be fair for them not to get to play out that game if it was just voided. I just don't think that's fair. Obviously, it has to be safe. I don't think anyone would strongly argue against that, but you never know. And then they want to go on to reassure FPL managers that we will provide further updates on the game when appropriate, and we thank you for your continued patience. It's been a while since we heard anything. And then this is kind of the most important thing. We can confirm that any chips you retain at present, for example, triple captain, bench boost, free hit, and or wildcard, i.e. all the chips, would remain available for you in accordance with the game rules. So to me, and I kind of said this on the Scout video, it implies that there will be future game weeks additional to the ones we've already had or not had, as the case has been. How they do that, whether or not they go back to where the game stopped, or whether they just create new ones, I just don't know. They haven't said that yet. Maybe they're still thinking about it. Obviously, them, like us, are waiting for the Premier League to make a decision about when football might come back. And I'm sure once we hear that, if we hear that, we'll hear from FPL again further. But a few people were talking about using chips in this final game week, just in case the games came back and all the matches were played in Game Week 38. But to me, this implies that that's not going to happen, because at present, and they could change this, I suppose, but at present, you cannot use a chip. You can't use 2 chips in one game week, basically. So you couldn't use your triple captain and your bench boost in the same week. So if that continues, if they don't change the game rules, which they do say in accordance with the game rules, so they don't make any kind of indication that they're changing those rules, that you're going to have to use them in individual game weeks, in which case there will be more game weeks to come. I hope that's the case, but obviously we don't know. We'll have to see what happens. And then these are exceptional circumstances, and we appreciate the understanding of FPL managers while the situation continues to evolve. So that is basically it from kind of the update point of view. So what I'm going to do is quickly go through my team. I have been kind of doing a slow wildcard, so I have been using my transfers. I haven't burnt one so far. I know some people say, like, what's the point of wasting your time on that? It hasn't really taken me that long. I've just logged in, made the transfer, and logged back out. I haven't painstakingly spent hours looking at different scenarios, but I'll talk you through kind of why I'm at the team I'm at. So yeah, let's have a look at that. So this is how the team currently looks. Obviously, I'm not going to be captaining Harry Maguire anytime soon, I don't think. But I have got triple Man United. So I can't remember exactly I could go and look it up, I suppose. But I can't remember exactly what my transfers have been every single week. But new players to this team: Martial, Maguire, Saiss in defence. I had Bolly before, and Calvert-Lewin up front, and then Hayden as a really cheap bench fodder. Because if you remember, which you probably don't because it was ages ago, I had a midfield that consisted of Traore, Harvey Barnes, and Dwight McNeil. And as good as Dwight McNeil was, I didn't feel like I was probably going to need him for the rest of the season. Harvey Barnes, great, but Leicester's fixtures weren't too good. And obviously, the caveat is we don't know how any of these teams are going to come back into the season, how they're going to play. It's going to be just like having a pre-season. Yes, they've been training, but it's not the same as training week in, week out properly with your teammates, and obviously not the same as having proper match fitness. So obviously you don't know how they're going to come back. Maybe Harvey Barnes will come back and completely rip up the league. Maybe loads of managers will change their formation and their starting 11. Obviously some players will come back from injury. They've had the time now to recover, so we might see the likes of Son, Kane, Rashford, Pogba, who we weren't going to see. Sané is another one, maybe at Man City. We just don't know. But I didn't feel like Harvey Barnes was going to be the key to the rest of my season. Maybe that will change. So McNeil went as well. And Traore, I basically had 8 attackers that I could play any given week. And you know me now, if you've watched this channel for long enough, I like to have a bench fodder. So I got Hayden in as that bench fodder. And that's what let me upgrade to De Bruyne, who was another player I didn't have. So Aubameyang was one that I had, and I switched him to De Bruyne. Now, the reason for that is, yes, Arsenal have quite a few good fixtures left, but they also have some pretty poor ones as well. And so until we see the fixture list, I'm not going to know, if Arsenal play all their bad fixtures at the start, then he's not going to be worth having potentially. If they have all their good fixtures, then maybe I'll get him back in. So obviously I've made these changes based on literally nothing, just really knowing who has good fixtures left, not necessarily what order they're going to come in. So I've gone triple Man United. And I suppose the other thing to say, which I probably mentioned before, yes, I want 3 Man United players, but even if I would love it if football came back. If it was safe to do so, I would love it. I know a lot of people saying they just don't care, and that is absolutely fair enough. But I want to see football again. Of course I do. Bundesliga is coming back this week. Quite jealous about that. And I'm not saying players have to be put at risk or anything like this, and it could be ages away, but I want it to come back. And when it does, given the way this season has gone for me, I've been hacked, and now there's this pandemic, which means the season's just completely out of whack. Yes, I will still care about my rank, but probably not as much as I would have done in a normal season. So if I can get triple Man United, a team, to be fair, that were looking pretty good before the season kind of came to a halt, with Fernandes back into the side, we could have Pogba and Rashford back as well. And of course, there's the other side of that. How will Pogba fit in with Fernandes, etc.? But ultimately, we're looking pretty good. So I've gone triple Man United. They've got really good fixtures left. I want to see them play. I want them in my team. And I'm just going to have, for the most part, a bit of fun going into the rest of the season. And there was a really good article on Scout about a month or so ago about the best fixtures and worst fixtures left. Obviously, again, not in the order, but just in general. So Man City have 6 home fixtures left. And then if you look at I've got it here, fewest matches against the big 6 remaining. Man United are top. They've only got 1 game remaining against the top 6. Their fixtures are pretty good. Chelsea, Everton, Spurs and Wolves are in there as well. So I've got Saiss and Jimenez. I haven't got Traore because he obviously wasn't nailed before the season ended. So I've got rid of him. Chelsea, I might look at Abraham, not Aubameyang, Abraham maybe. I think in terms of who I'm going to get, so I've got 2 free transfers left for this week. So my plan is, if they're saying that about chips, my plan is to use one and then roll one. So whenever it comes back, whenever that might be and however it might be, hopefully I'll still have 2 free transfers, which I think is going to be important, especially for me with no wild card. So I should say that. So this isn't going to be the final team for this week. I'm going to make one more transfer, and it's probably going to be Danny Ings or Henderson, because Henderson I don't think has as many games as everyone else. Obviously, some teams still have 10 games left because there would have been double game weeks, so we're still yet to see whether there still will be double game weeks. My kind of feeling is there won't be double game week, so it'll just be like an extra game week maybe, but again we just don't know. Maybe they will play twice in a week, and if there is, Henderson I don't think has any, and he can't, I think he's still got a match against Man United to play, so he can't play in that game. So I'm thinking about getting rid of him or Danny Ings. Now Danny Ings is an interesting one because he's been so good this season. Obviously there's nothing to tell me that won't continue, but if the games are in quick succession, he might get rested. Yes, he's had a long break, but we know he got rested during the season when the games were in quick succession. So that might happen again. So that's something else I've got on my mind as well. So it'll be Henderson or Ings to go. If it's Ings, I've got 1.9 million in the bank, so I probably could get Abraham. So he might be an interesting option. He's not got too many games against the big six. Obviously, if Son's back, there's players like that I would like, but I just don't know. So that's something to think about. Maybe take Ings out or Henderson and then just roll the transfer. But fewest matches against the big six. Man United have only got one, two games against top six: Burnley, Chelsea, Everton, Spurs, and Wolves. And then 3 is like so many teams then: Arsenal, Bournemouth, Leicester, Liverpool. I've only got Salah and Alexander-Arnold. I don't have Mane. I don't have a second Liverpool defender. So there's all these things to think about. How will the teams come back? How will the players perform? Will there be lots of goals? Will the strikers be knackered and, I don't know, just not up to scratch and not causing the defenders many problems? We just don't know so many things. So that's kind of how my team looks right now. And there's 2 reasons I made this video. One, it's going into Gameweek 38 and we had that announcement. But 2, I just wanted to make a video. I do miss doing this on this channel. Obviously, I've been doing them on Scout, which is great as well. But I miss doing them on this channel too, talking about my team and stuff. So this was a good excuse to do it. If you didn't like it, I do apologise. But hopefully most of you did. If you did, make sure to drop it a like. So yeah, I think that's my team going forward. And like I said, hopefully I'll have 2 free transfers going into the final however many game weeks it might be. We'll see from there. So just one more thing I want to talk about is kind of what's next on this channel and other channels and stuff like that. So if you just wanted to hear about the announcement of my team, good time to turn off, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Otherwise, keep watching. So what's next is kind of to do with like what I'm going to do on this channel if or when football returns. If it doesn't, what am I going to do, etc. So I'm sure a lot of you know because I've talked about it already on a video. I've put it on the community tab on YouTube. I've talked about it on Twitter. I am making Football Manager videos on a separate channel called Andy Plays FM, I think it's called now, where I've got a series for Man United, surprise, surprise, trying to make them great again, win the Premier League and win the Champions League. So if you're interested in Football Manager or Football Manager videos by me, I'll put a link in the description below and there'll be a link at the end to subscribe as well. There's like a whole 2 seasons worth of videos already there if you want to catch up, and I'll be starting season 3 on Sunday. So if you want to kind of start right in the middle, that's great. The season 3 on Sunday, probably at 6 p.m. Then check out that, or you can just go back and watch everything right from the start. There's plenty of content to keep you entertained if you like it, which hopefully you do. So I'm still doing that. I've been thinking about, I didn't put them on this channel because I know a lot of people get annoyed getting notified about non-FPL videos. And to be honest, one of the things I've been thinking about a lot is what to do with this channel, whether to talk about normal, everyone's been talking about whether football should restart, how it should restart, and I was tempted to give my opinion, but I didn't necessarily want to do it on this channel. So I've considered a second channel, but I want to give it a few more weeks to see kind of what happens with the Premier League. Maybe we'll get some announcements in the next few weeks, maybe the next month or so. And I guess what's next in terms of FPL content, if we get any more announcements, there'll be a video. If the season says it's going to get restarted, there will be videos. Like, I'm itching to get going again, so we'll have to wait and see what happens, obviously. But if we're technically going to be in a pre-season, then there'll be similar pre-season content to what you'd normally get. Not all the same, of course. There won't be like friendly matches, I'd imagine, but there'll be content back. So that's definitely coming. So if you are looking forward to FPL coming back, there will be videos coming back once it is back. So there's no worries about that. I'm not just going to be doing these videos just once a month and that's it. So there might be a second channel at some point. I have got another idea for a second channel, which I won't go into too many details about, so I don't know if I'm going to do it. And already I would be annoyed if I was watching this because I've said that I might do something and I haven't. But it'd be kind of more related to this, but it also might give me a chance to speak about a few different things as well. So I'm sure a lot of you would just subscribe to this channel because you like the FPL stuff, which is perfectly fine, which is why I would consider doing a second channel, which is kind of FPL and football based, something like that. I've got an idea in my head, I've got a name for it, and I know what I want to do over there. But we'll have to see what happens there. I don't want to do that until football comes back because you could go round and round in circles doing stuff, like other stuff, like transfer rumours or talking about how the league might restart. I mean, I quite like some people are doing, obviously talking about old stuff, which I've done on Scout as well, which I like. But I don't necessarily want to do that going forward for this second channel, so we'll see what happens. So that's kind of what's next. FPL comes back, videos definitely come back to this channel. I'm a bit apprehensive about doing too much else on this channel because it is an FPL channel, right? The clue is in the name. And I don't want to put too many people off if I start spamming it with Football Manager videos or football videos or anything like that. So if you want to watch Football Manager, I've already got a channel. There might be a second channel coming, although to be honest, that second channel will probably coincide with FPL coming back anyway. Which will just show you that it is kind of more of an FPL channel. But yeah, we'll talk about that a bit more. Yeah, I'm going to leave that video there. I mean, I'm getting on okay. I hope you guys are. Obviously, I'm all fully recovered. I'm feeling really good. What else am I getting up to? I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I've almost completed it. I was a bit skeptical at first, but it's really good. And I've just started watching that Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls documentary on Netflix. I'm going to finish that off soon. I guess like everyone, I guess sometimes lockdown is a struggle, and not every single day is great. But I must admit, eating better again. I kind of went off a bit. Not off the rails, but my food standards, I guess, is in terms of good food went down, exercise went down a bit, but I've got it back up again, so I'm feeling pretty good. Although obviously lockdown does suck, but I hope you're all keeping well. It doesn't look like this is going to end anytime soon, but maybe there'll be football back. I don't know. Like I said, as long as it's safe, then I'm okay with it coming back. But obviously, there's a lot of stuff they have to look into before that happens. So yeah, I'm going to leave that video there. I'm sure, it's probably over 10, 12, 14 maybe minutes at this point. I've just rambled on. But hopefully you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it, and I'm enjoying getting at least something uploaded to the channel. And like I said, I'm not going to start spamming every little thing that comes into my head on this channel. So if you just like the FPL stuff, make sure to stick around. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. I will catch you again at some point. Who knows how soon that will be, but I'm looking forward to it. See you later all.